Hi, I'm Ghost, and this is my rogue Ghostblade. I'm going to show you how to win Battlegrounds in PvP and WoW as a rogue. I'm going to be using video here from actual PvP Battlegrounds that I did to illustrate the effects that I'm talking about. Today's episode will be about protecting a flag. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do basically is stay stealth as long as you can. It's kind of your prime objective. The longer you can stay stealth, the better you can do, the more options you have available to you. Okay, so be patient. A lot of times you don't even have to do anything. You'll see me protecting this flag here, running around, making sure that nobody comes near it. That's the most important thing. Next, basically, you just need to sap the target. Sap is your most versatile and effective method of stopping an opponent from capturing a flag that you control or that you've assaulted. So you just sap them, and you can see they'll just run away or get confused. Sometimes they'll try and AoE you out of it, but basically you can just stay stealth, sap, and walk away. They can't really do anything about it. Sometimes you'll notice that your team will interrupt a target, and you don't need to do anything at all. You can just kind of chill, as long as the person capping the flag has been interrupted. You do not need to go and sap, you do not need to let anyone know you're there. So basically this mage is going to try to blizzard find me, and you just want to move away from it, stay out of it. If you can stay out of the AoE, you can stay alive. It's pretty simple. Sometimes your target will be immune to sap. If you sap them enough times, you'll see immune pop up. That's when the real fun starts. Generally I jump in and I try to open with cheap shot, which delays longer. They get stunned for 5 seconds because I have it glyphed. And then it goes from there. Get into combat, you can use kidney shot, etc. to keep delaying them. Gouge works effectively too. After an enemy starts channeling out a flag, I generally wait about 4 to 6 seconds before I sap the target. That way I'm delaying as long as I can. I let 6 seconds go by, sap, and then when the sap wears off, I wait for them to channel on the flag for another 6 seconds before I initiate my next sap. So you'll see here there's a large group of enemies, and what you can do is, again, you just need to watch out to make sure nobody is capping that flag. As long as you have allies who are going in and interrupting, you can see this paladin hitting from all the way out there. I didn't need to go in and do anything at all. So long as there's nobody standing there capping it, I don't have to do anything. So make sure that's really important. When your allies are interrupting, you don't need to go in. Sometimes when there's too many enemies, you're not really sure who's doing it. Sap isn't the most effective, so you want to use Fan of Knives. Here's me using Fan of Knives to take this group and make sure that nobody is trying to channel on that flag. Another important flag to protect is the graveyards in Strand of the Ancients. The first ones, so that they can't get the siege workshops and get less siege engines. Which are the most important because they have to break everything down with siege or those bombs. So you'll see these people continually trying to channel at the captain's graveyard. There's about 8 horde here and almost no alliance, and if you just drop in with one well-timed sap after another, you can really mess up their whole game. Eventually you're going to want to go in though and break it out because you can't do it anymore. Fan of Knives will work really well, and other moves too. And again, staying alive here is really important. So you'll see I'll use Evasion and Cloak of Shadows, start spamming Fan of Knives, and basically there's nothing they can do about it. They can't touch that flag until I'm done casting Fan of Knives. It'll just interrupt anybody around it trying to capture it. So this is all buying your team time. Strand of the Ancients is a timed battle. The more time that it takes them to break in, the more time you have to do your thing. So you just want to delay them as much as you can. I recorded most of these videos in 1080p so that you can see them in nice crisp quality. I intend to do most of, if not all of them, this way in the future. Once again, you want to sap targets you can. If there's 2 targets, you can do like a alternation. You sap one target, sap the other target. You'll see that's what I'm going to do here in the workshop. You just keep hitting one and then the other and then the other. And this is pretty typical. They'll drop AoEs, they'll try to break you out of it, they'll try to channel on it, they'll take turns. But really, if you just keep sapping them in a correct fashion, you can keep them almost indefinitely from capturing the flag. You see, the Alliance just took the workshop there, and then I decided to go into combat now that I've got allies around. And not only is the flag ours for the meantime, but and now I've got help to defend it, or I can just vanish out, stealth right out of combat, and I don't need to do anything anymore at this point. It's our flag, and I can go back to whatever I want to do. I can just stay stealthed and chill, or I can come in and help my team and kill some players. A lot of it, you'll notice, isn't gear dependent at all. You don't really need to have gear to win a battleground, to turn the tide of a battleground. You can do almost all of your sapping, your cheap shotting, your kidney shot, your blind, all of your long CC or delay abilities. CC meaning crowd control, of course, anything that makes you lose control of your character. You can do all of those things without any gear at all. It really doesn't help the effectiveness of them at all. Gear basically just helps you in combat, which you don't really necessarily have to do to win battlegrounds. As a rogue, you can really turn the tides without doing much combat at all. So one thing you want to watch out for is the red poof. When somebody goes to capture a flag, there'll be this little red animation, a little red spiral that'll come up. And in this battle in Rothy Basin, you'll see this Artillart, this person capping the mine's flag. I didn't see the red poof, so I missed it. So I was going to sap in a second, but I didn't see it. So he actually ended up assaulting the mines on me there. If you've assaulted a base, and your team is going to gain control of this base, and they start to channel to defend it, but somewhere during their channeling, your team takes control of the base, so the channeling takes 7 seconds, and within that 7 seconds, your team gains control of the base that they're trying to capture. It will change the flag, it will change the object, and so when that happens, they're not interrupted, but when they complete their channeling, they will not defend that base. They will have to begin anew with a new channel. It's also important to note which graveyards or flags to defend, and basically you want to defend almost all of them. Bases are really important, but in Strand of the Ancients, the one in the south is not very important. Do not defend that flag. Towers in Alterac Valley are very important, as well as the southernmost or northernmost graveyard in Alterac Valley. That's how you protect a flag as a rogue in a battleground. And in the next episodes, I'd like to give you more information. Other topics I want to cover are diminishing returns, learning other class abilities, board awareness, line of sight, crowd control, user interface, gear, spec, enchants, camera, mouse turning, fun PvP items. So you'll have all that to look forward to.